Good evening, and welcome to the January 9th, 2024 regular session meeting of City Council. If you are here tonight and would like to address council, please register with staff in the lobby. Please indicate item I for matters germane to City Council if the item you wish to speak to is not on the agenda. Light system is 3 minutes. After stating your name and address, the green light will appear. After 2 minutes, the yellow light will appear. After 3 minutes, the red light will appear, and we ask that you take your seat. Written remarks may be handed to the city clerk to be made a part of the record. The city code identifies the procedure for participation regarding items on tonight's agenda and provides the opportunity for citizens to address City Council on matters that are germane to council. Matters that are germane to council means that matters by the City Council by law is empowered to act upon. This does not include announcements that are personal to you, business, or your organization. Copies of this ordinance regarding participation can be found at the desk in the lobby. If you intend to address City Council, please pick up and review a copy of that ordinance. At that time, please silence your phones. Prior to beginning the business portion of the meeting, Pastor Dwight Riddick III with Gethsemane Baptist Church will provide an invocation to the council, and afterwards, Councilman Woodbury will lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. It is the practice of the council members to stand for the invocation and Pledge of Allegiance. Those who also wish to stand are welcome, but are under no obligation to do so. Thank you.
I do want to thank Mayor Jones and the council for this opportunity. Let us bow in prayer. Gracious God, we humbly come before you in this council meeting acknowledging your sovereignty over our lives and our community. As we deliberate, we ask that you grant us the wisdom to make decisions that reflect your divine guidance. Make our actions be guided by your compassion and led by your justice, and given a genuine concern for the well-being of our fellow residents. We ask that you bless our city, bless it with prosperity and harmony, and opportunity for growth. Help us foster an environment where all of our voices are heard and where unity prevails over division. Grant strength to our leaders that they may lead with integrity and humility. We also lift up our citizens, no matter where they may live. We ask for your grace to be upon each household, heal the broken, comfort the afflicted, and inspire hope in the hearts of those facing challenges. We know darkness cannot drive out darkness, only light can do that. Hate cannot drive out hate, only love can do that. And so we pray that as we embark on the responsibilities today, that your light shine through our decisions and upon our city, illuminating the path toward a brighter future. We ask this in your holy and merciful name. Amen.
Amen. Would you please join me in honoring our country's flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Presentation. Tonight, we have a presentation and a resolution in memorial honoring Bernice B. Berry. At this time, I would like Mrs. Berry family to join me at the podium, please. So I'm gonna read it and then I'll give it to you.
Okay, yes, sir.
So, resolution. Whereas the Council of the City of Newport News, Virginia, records with deep and profound sadness the death of Bernice Berry, and whereas B. Berry was a longtime resident of the City of Newport News, Virginia, having lived here since 1956 before moving to Staunton, Virginia in July of 2022. And whereas Mrs. Berry was appointed as the city clerk for the City of Newport News by City Council in 1978 and served in that position for over 26 years before retiring in 2004. Prior to that time, she worked for 23 years at the Nolan Company as an admin assistant to the president. And whereas Bo Berry's service as city clerk was characterized by diligent and tireless effort and providing service with the highest degree of professionalism. During her service to the city, Mrs. Berry ensured the implementation and use of technological advances, steadily improving the timeliness and accuracy needed to properly maintain, process, and record all proceedings and other records of the City Council in the city. And whereas Mrs. Berry earned the designation of Master Municipal Clerk and was the 102nd clerk in this country to achieve this accomplishment. She was an active member of both the Virginia Municipal Clerks Association and the International Institute of Municipal Clerks Association, and was voted by the IMC to be an honorary member. And whereas, in addition to her career as city clerk, Mrs. Berry participated in numerous professional and civic organizations to include the Virginia Association of Government Archives and Records Administrators as a founding member, past, present, and honorary member, president of the Travelers Protection Association, member of the American Legion Auxiliary, honorary member of Post 25, president of the 3rd District, and served as state chairman for several different standing committees, member of the Virginia State Association, and president of the Old State Democratic Women's Club. She also served on the board of directors for Virginia Girls State for several years and as a government counselor at Girls State for 28 years. And whereas Mrs. Berry served in various local roles as chairman of the Newport News Redevelopment and Housing Authority, chairman of the USS Newport News Liaison Committee, secretary and president of the Newport News Democratic Party, president of the Newport News Women's Democrat Association, and as an election official for the Newmarket Precinct. Mrs. Berry was also instrumental in creating the Heritage High School Booster Club. And whereas Mrs. Berry was preceded in death by her mother, Azora Twigg, father, Aubrey Hoover, brother, Donald Hoover, and his wife Betty, husband, William G. Berry, and daughter, Deborah M. Berry. She is survived by her daughter, Sandra Williams,
Thank you.
of Lexington, Virginia, several grandchildren, nieces, nephews, and other relatives and friends. And whereas the product of her civic and professional activities touched the lives of many, and the death of Mrs. Berry creates a void in this community, which this City Council as a whole wishes to recognize. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Council of the City of Newport News, Virginia, that it is hereby recognizes all that Mrs. Berry has done to serve the City of Newport News and the Commonwealth of Virginia, and honor her for her service to this community. That it is ordered that the City Clerk shall record this resolution in the minutes of this body, and that a copy to be presented to the family of the late Bernice I. Berry. That this resolution shall in effect and after this date of its adoption, September 12, 2023.
Thank you.
That's right.
Thank you, Council, very much.
Yes.
I appreciate all you've done. It really means the world to me and to my children. Thank you.
Of course. And thank you to our City Clerk's office for putting that together and ensuring that we paid honor where honor is due. Public hearings, page 3. Item E1 is a request to adopt an ordinance authorizing the city manager to execute a deed of easement by and between the City of Newport News, Virginia, and Verizon Virginia, LLC, for an easement across city-owned property located at 1001 Baptist Road in York County. The city manager recommends approval. Are there any speakers?
No, sir.
Motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none. Call the roll, please.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Motion to adopt the ordinance.
Move adoption.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none. Call the roll, please.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Page 14, item E2 is a request to adopt an ordinance authorizing and directing the city manager to execute any and all documents, including deeds, necessary to effectuate the conveyance of city-owned property located at 647 Ivy Avenue to Geraldine Jegdy. City manager recommends approval. Are there any speakers?
No, sir.
Motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Motion to adopt the ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Motion carried 7-0.
Thank you. Consent agenda. Item F contains the following item. Page 18, minutes of the work session of December 12th, 2023. Page 51, minutes of the regular meeting, December 12th, 2023. Page 73, minutes of the special meeting of December 18th, 2023. Motion to approve the consent agenda, item F1 through F3, all inclusive.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
There are no other city council actions this evening. We will now move to appropriations. Item H, Mr. Manager.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council. We have 3 appropriations this evening. The first appropriation is a request to approve a resolution appropriating $1,175,000 from the fiscal year 2023 bond authorization for the design and construction of replacement floating docks at Newport News Lee Hall Fishing Area and Newport News Campground, and the installation of an ADA-accessible kayak launch. The second appropriation is a request to approve a resolution appropriating $1,870,000 from fiscal year 2024 bond authorization for select improvements to Newport News parks and recreation areas. The third appropriation is a request to approve a resolution appropriating $10 million from the fiscal year 2024 bonds authorized and unissued, and to reallocate $416,852 of previously appropriated bond funds to the Newport News Public Schools for capital projects. I recommend approval of all appropriations.
Thank you. Is there a motion to approve items H1 through H3, all inclusive?
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, call the roll, please.
Councilman Ely,
4.
Councilman Harris,
4.
Mayor Jones,
4.
Councilman Long,
4.
Councilwoman Vick,
4.
Councilwoman Woodbury,
4.
Vice Mayor Bethany.
4.
Motion carries 7-0.
Thank you. Citizen comments. Item I, citizen comments on matters germane to the business of City Council. I will call each name in the order it appears in front of me. Adam Morrow.
Adam Morrow, address is 800 Lombardi Avenue, apartment 8417, Newport News. Ladies and gentlemen, esteemed council member, fellow citizens of Newport News, first of all, I just want to say you people do a lot for homeless. I've seen a lot of charities. I've volunteered at quite a few, and it's really great to see people helping out others. But I noticed on your website, on the City Council's website, there's a list of shelters and food pantries, and it's out of date, and there's several that I volunteered at that aren't listed. And if you need, and I'd love to see it updated. And this is a slightly strange way to volunteer, but if you want someone to do it for free, I have some experience with making websites.
Thank you.
Thank you.
very much.
Clayton Ty.
Good evening, members of council.
Good evening.
My name is Clayton Ty. I reside at 12733 Sand Pebble Circle, Newport News, Virginia. I'm here to talk about the public comment process for city council meetings. They were recently changed within the past month. The City of Newport News runs an online portal to access documents for city council meetings and to view the calendar and to formally submit public comments. And the procedures for submitting public comments have changed. You used to be able to submit them and have them added to the minutes of and attached to whatever agenda item you were talking about, as long as you submitted it before the end of the meeting, and you could provide comments up to 2 weeks later. Now, the website has since been changed to say that you can only submit public comments if you register before the meeting, and public comments that are submitted won't be attached to the minutes, but they'll just be submitted to council members for review. And I think that that's a step back. I think that members of the public deserve to have their words heard and seen. And I don't like that there was no public deliberation over this. I think it is not transparent. And I know, Mayor Jones, you campaigned on transparency, and the comment that I was speaking on, or the meeting that I was speaking on, was the December 12th meeting, which ironically was at Denby Community Center to increase, citizen engagement and to bring it to forums that are outside of just, this chamber. And I think that a lot of people have a lot of things to say that deserve to be seen, namely, it could be on a plethora of different issues, but one that speaks to my mind is, the ceasefire resolutions that people keep on talking about and submitting. Nobody would be really wise to what they said if they're not included in the minutes. So I think that it's important for those to be seen. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Suwan Taylor. Suwan Taylor.
It's Susan.
Oh, it's Suwan on here. So Susan Taylor.
Susan Taylor. So I'm standing up here today because I've had a lot of interactions with some of you, a lot more with the police department. And, 152A Janess Lane is where I live. Lots of interactions. I've not had any charges. I've had somebody who's sitting up on this panel come after my husband inside of these chambers. It's on video. About 5.5 years now, and we can disagree on things that I know that you guys really cannot do anything because it's a misdemeanor for you guys to involve yourselves in personnel matters within this city. However, your personnel that you can do nothing about, and only Mr. City Manager here can, they have no problems involving themselves and other people's personal issues and things that are going on in their life, like my job. So I have lots of jobs. I have no criminal record. I have, in my whole 42 years living here in Virginia, and so I got a job. Everybody says, hey, put on the badge if you want to see a difference, right? Come and be a part of it if you want to see the change. So I went and got one. And because of my First Amendment, which is explicitly stated in my termination paper, and because members of the community complained, I wonder which members those were, about my actions and my First Amendment. I was terminated from working at Port, which is a homeless shelter. And I was working the night hours that they could not find anybody to do. In that termination letter, which has been posted on Facebook, I was also commended and thanked for the efforts that I had done while I was there. So it was not being fired for any behavior that I had inside. I dealt with police officers, I dealt with sheriffs. We had no issues. But what they did instead was going behind my back, and went and complained because they didn't want to see me there. That's fine. God is good. He gave me another opportunity that makes just as same amount of money. Not helping out the community where it needs to be helped. And trust me, I got the text messages about how difficult it is to get people to work at port. Not a lot of people like sitting across the table from homeless people and treating them like human beings, which is the way the city treats me. It's been made very clear that I am not a part of this community. Within the last week, we have had another man in his home murdered by the Newport News Police Department. They say that he had a gun. Well, I've been in contact with the woman that was inside of there with him. The only person he planned on harming was himself. And within 5 seconds, he was dead. I don't know. We haven't learned anything from Henry Berry. We haven't learned anything at all. And then I'm told that I need to be civil. I'm told I shouldn't be angry. Any person up here who claims God and is not angry from people being murdered has got a real problem. So I know my time is up. I will say one last thing. Woe unto you. And you should really look up what the biblical definition of woe means. To scribes and Pharisees.
Thank you, ma'am. Sahin Nanez. Sanine Nanez.
Hello, good evening. My name is Cyan Nanez. With me, I have a resolution directing the City of Newport News to uphold Chapter 39, Section 2.2, Tac 3900 of the Code of Virginia, known as the Virginia Human Rights Act, by calling for an immediate and permanent ceasefire in Gaza, Palestine. Where it is policy of the Commonwealth to safeguard all individuals within the Commonwealth from unlawful discrimination because of race, color, religion, and national origin. New data from the Anti-Defamation League and the Council on American Islamic Relations reveals a spike in reported incidents of both anti-Semitic and anti-Arab and anti-Muslim bias, recording 2,031 anti-Semitic incidents in the 2 months after the October 7th Hamas attack on Israel. The Virginia pilot estimates a Jewish population of 14,600 in Hampton Roads and a Muslim population of approximately 2,300. This is my second time speaking for the City of Newport News. I have emailed and personally dropped off 2 versions of the resolution. I have received no emails back, no response from any of the council members. The Declaration of Independence states that whenever any form of government becomes destructive at these ends, it is the right of the people to alter or abolish it. It also states that some forms of these abuse include imposing taxes on us without our consent, and he has combined with others to subject us to jurisdiction foreign to our Constitution and unacknowledged by our laws. I don't think there's anything democratic about collective punishment, and I don't think those are American ideals, and I think local government is not a separate entity from the whole yes, sorry, thank you. Yeah, and I'd like to see more action. I'm disappointed. I want to be a politician one day, and I feel like I have nothing to look up to anymore. That's all.
Thank you. Christy Norwood.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I would like to invite the members of my organization to stand. Christy Norwood, 201 Hauser Bend, Newport News, Virginia. I'm with Remind You Wellness and Outreach. I'm a clinical psychologist here in Newport News, Virginia, and I just wanted to share with you all, I would like the City of Newport News to consider partnering for our second inaugural Exhale Summit. It's focused specifically on our BIPOC women population to focus on efforts on their emotional, mental, and physical well-being. It is March 1st through the 3rd, which is the same weekend as the One City Marathon, and we think that this would be a fantastic fantastic community partnership opportunity. And it will also be an opportunity to bring individuals to the city. Last year, we had about 150 women who participated. We had community sponsorships, including Centera, Teladoc Health, who offered free therapy services for women and community members. And so we think this will be a fantastic opportunity as we're preparing to bring 200 to 250 women to the city of Newport News, in and around the city of Newport News, to our city to really show that the city backs mental health and emotional well-being. I've been doing this work with military veterans. I've been doing this work currently with college students as the director of the Student Mental Health Counseling Center at Hampton University. And now, as I've stretched out and started a 501c3, I think this is a fantastic opportunity for the city of Newport News to be a community partner. As part of that partnership, that can include sponsorship levels, but it also can include community partnerships where we have a wellness resource guide, and the city of Newport News can be listed in there as such. So I hope that you all will consider partnering with this organization that's focused on building mental health and mental wellness, not just in Newport News, but in the entire Hampton Roads area and the entire country. Any questions? I don't know if that's appropriate. Sorry that you take questions.
We can use the full, everyone gets their 3 minutes.
Okay, so I will open this if there are questions.
Anything?
No, but I did get your email, and it really was nice, the programming that you have.
Fantastic. Yes, I did submit that information to you all.
Do you have a pamphlet or any information?
You sent an email.
I did send electronic communication, but I'm happy to drop off hard copy flyers as well. We do have with us 2 members of our team and one of our keynote speakers. We also will be bringing Dr. Marielle Bouquet to the city. She's a well-renowned clinical psychologist from New York who just released a book last week on intergenerational trauma as well.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I know Councilman Woodbury wanted to say something. To a previous comment?
The previous comment, not to you, I'm
No,
sorry.
you're good, ma'am.
What I was going to say is, I know that you said you want to be in politics, and what I think you have to realize is that we have to represent every side of a situation. We can't just decide personally that we are for something or against something, but we do listen to you, the public, and try to be that voice of not being prejudiced in one way or the other. So I think it's important for you to remember that, since you are going to become, and I hope you do.
Lakeisha Woodward.
Lakeisha Woodard, 140 Minchville Road, Newport News, Virginia,
Thank you, and
23602.
I appreciate it. Yeah, we'll make sure everyone can just say their address as well, so thank you for doing that. I was told to start asking for those.
Absolutely. Mr. Mayor and esteemed members of the City Council, I am again here representing the Excel Summit. I'll take this off. And I just want to piggyback off of what Dr. Christy Norwood said as far as the need for wellness programming within Newport News. One of the things you mentioned, you spoke at our Founders Day celebration for the Deltas on Saturday.
I did. It was a great time.
Yes.
1,300 Deltas in attendance, which was
Yes.
great for taxes.
Yes. And so two of the things that stood out to me as I came here today, one, you said that wherever there's a community need and wherever there's a need in the community, Deltas are there. So Dr. Christie didn't mention that she is a member of Delta Sigma Theta sorority. So we are addressing that need of mental wellness. And then also, one of the other things you mentioned was revenue within the city. So as you mentioned, we're looking to have about 200 to 250 women join us, not just here from Newport News. We had last year women from Philadelphia, from Atlanta, or from Georgia, DC area. So just wanted to piggyback off of that in your consideration for partnering with the Excel Summit.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Freepa Liston.
My name's Frepa. I live at 122 Kristen Court. Good evening, Mayor and Council members. These City Council meetings always begin with the Pledge of Allegiance, which at the end states, "with liberty and justice for all." Seeing that according to this pledge, the Republic of the United States stands with justice for all, wouldn't you agree that justice is a prerequisite for peace? Wouldn't you agree that all humans deserve justice? Today I amplify the voices of the orphaned children of Palestine, the displaced families, the journalists who have given up everything to show the world the reality they live in, the authors and writers who have been killed along with the power they shared through their words, and I amplify the voice of every Palestinian American who is facing the loss of their loved ones and calling for a free Palestine. Over the last couple city council meetings, you've heard many speakers break down the genocide in Palestine. There are multiple sources for finding updated death tolls, number of people displaced, the percentage of Palestinians who are starving and don't have access to water. The list of circumstances that make this a genocide is ever growing, just like the number of those impacted. I recently visited the Celebration of Lights at Newport News Park. Lovely drive-through, by the way. There was one specific exhibit that stood out to me. It was one that I've seen for many years. I'm sure you're familiar with the globe at the end with peace on earth written across it with lights. Really pretty actually, but unfortunately not a reality. If this city stands with justice and peace, they should be able to show their unequivocal support for peace on earth, for everyone, everywhere. Though as of right now, the exact opposite is reflected, with city leaders having tweeted support and solidarity with Israel in October 2023. City Hall was lit up in blue and white for a week to show this city's solidarity with the state of Israel. Now, after 23,000 deaths, 96 days, and 75 years of ethnic cleansing, war crimes, and genocide, our leaders choose to remain silent. As an American Muslim, I ask what it will take for this city to show our Arab, Muslim, and Palestinian community that they deserve peace. That peace on earth applies to Palestinians. Hundreds of Hampton Roads residents have emailed this council requesting for solidarity and the passage of a ceasefire resolution. We demand our elected leaders to stand in solidarity and voice their support for our people's lives. You all have had several weeks to review the ceasefire resolution presented at the last meeting. This resolution shows solidarity with all of your communities and voices your support for a permanent ceasefire in Palestine. Peace on earth is a powerful motto, so let's ensure that we exhibit our belief in granting justice and peace to those in Palestine. Vote to pass this resolution tonight. Thank you.
Thank you. Christopher McVeigh.
Quick show of hands, any of you guys know who I am?
Sir, could you state your name and address, please?
Christopher McVeigh, 152A, Jeunesse Lane, Newport News, Virginia.
Thank you.
So again, any of you that know who I am, including you, show of hands, you know who I am and why I might be here. No idea. You don't notice the irony of it being Law Enforcement Appreciation Day. Let's all give Chief Steve Drew a big round of applause. Where'd he go? There he is. Stand up, be acknowledged. Chief Law Enforcement Officer of the City Corporation of the City of Newport News. Come on, stand up. Let's all give him a round of applause. Chief Drew.
Sir, when you come to these meetings, you address city council, so if we could keep comments toward us, that would be appreciated.
I was just trying to honor your police chief that you all love so much. Is that not correct? I mean, you guys are very supportive of Chief Drew, correct? You love the things he's done for the city since he's been here, right? He's an asset to the community. I want to play something real quick so you can hear this.
Are being jumped, do you have the right to use lethal force? Ray, so you have the right to protect yourself, but the force has got to match the aggression. So if somebody comes up and yells at you, you don't have the right to assault them, right, if you can walk away. But
so you may recognize that voice since Chief Drew doesn't want to stand up and be acknowledged, and I'm not allowed to turn around because I'm obviously in violation of your policies, not addressing you directly, even though the subject of my address to you is in the room. We'll ignore him like an elephant. So that's Chief Drew. You have to take my word for it, but you can come see the video if you'd like. 2 years after the fact of him violently attacking me in the Newport News Police Department headquarters on October 23rd, 2018, after he stole my American flag that I was using to exercise my First Amendment right to protest police abuse of citizens, the law, and their authority. And he refused to give it back because he said it was abandoned property because, somebody he knows that's already actively involved in protesting his particular department and other police abuses of citizens. He knows that it's my flag. He acknowledges it's my flag, but he refused to give it back because it's been abandoned for, 15 minutes or so along the sidewalk of Jefferson Avenue in front of the headquarters. Yeah, I know you can push a button. And yet, he refused to give it back. He refused to take my complaint into Internal Affairs. In fact, escorted me out with his hands of the headquarters, which is all on video, of course, my video and the surveillance video, and battered me, committed an assault and battery, like I told you on the video. We all know it. It's the elephant in the room. Been dealing for 5 years and 3 months. 3 of you have been up here the whole time and have done nothing. Nothing. And now we got 4 new ones. Haven't done anything. You haven't done anything. Neither did your predecessor, Ms. Rolfe. Just want to let you know, today on Law Enforcement Appreciation Day, Mr. U.S. Marine Corps, First Amendment hoorah, and Harvard graduate, that Friday at 9 a.m. I'd invite any of you and anybody here to come down to the Newport News Circuit Court in front of Judge Pat Peel, the Chief Judge, who's getting ready to throw me in jail for up to a year for daring to annoy the Newport News Police Department and embarrass them. 1 year in jail and a $1,000 fine is hanging over my head right now.
Thank you,
for
sir.
daring to speak up.
Yes, sir. I'll let you wrap up.
Oh, no, that's all right.
Okay.
I've said what I need to do, but I would like to speak with you after the meeting, so I'm going to stick around.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Mr. McVeigh, I just would point out that under the city ordinances, the filming is supposed to take place on the sides or the rear.
Well, then write me a ticket. Got to be a nitpick, don't you?
Just pointing
See
out
what
for
I'm
the
saying?
future. I could have said something when you first walked up.
You could shut up too, because it's not that big a deal.
Hey, I got it, Tina. I got it.
It's not that big a
I
deal.
got it.
It's
So,
really not.
so listen. While I sit in this middle chair, we're going to have order here. So everyone gets their 3 minutes. Everyone's been very respectful. We ask that I will come talk to you at this time. Please move with the camera to
I
the side.
was until your city
I've got
attorney
I've got it. You're talking
decided
to me.
he needed to nitpick me.
I got it.
Yeah, it's
At this
fine.
time, we ask you to go to the side.
Don't worry, the only violent ones here are the Newport News
I've
Police
got it.
Department.
I've got it. To the side. That's all that we ask. Thank you. Frida Azah.
Priya Azza. I choose to not disclose my address just for fear of hate crimes. Honorable Mayor Jones, esteemed council members, and fellow citizens, I stand here today with concerns about the recent public stance taken by the city of Newport News regarding the situation in Gaza and Israel. On the week of October 7th, Newport News decided to illuminate the city hall in blue and white for an entire week, symbolizing solidarity with the people of Israel. Additionally, a city leader tweeted on October 10th and 11th, sharing information about a rally for Israel. I ask, how many voices had to be heard through emails or citizen comments for the city and its leaders to be steadfast in showing support for Israel? My intention is not to criticize, but to seek understanding. I wonder why there seems to be an absence of unequivocal support for the Muslims and Palestinians in Newport News. Do we, as Muslims and Palestinians and Arabs, not merit the same recognition and empathy? I pose this question in the context of the tragic toll exacted by the conflict, with over 20,000 innocent Palestinians falling victim to Israelis' collective punishment. What magnitude of loss must we endure before Newport News extends its solidarity to us, or in any way acknowledging our shared humanity? Since Newport News city leaders have chosen to make a public statement regarding Israel, I implore you to extend that gesture of solidarity to Muslims, Arabs, and Palestinians in Newport News as well. It is an opportunity to stand against Islamophobia and demonstrate a commitment to inclusivity. This is not controversial. This is not complicated. This is about honoring human rights and prioritizing peace for all peoples. I ask you all to use that same energy you used for showing solidarity with the people of Israel for our Palestinians. A tangible step is lighting City Hall in green and red to show solidarity with us, but more importantly, passing a resolution that promotes an ending to the killing of innocent civilians, allows humanitarian aid into Gaza, and return of hostages on both sides tonight. Until such actions are taken, the perception may persist that Newport News aligns itself with ethnic cleansing, war crimes, and ongoing genocide perpetrated by Israel, a sentiment that is deeply troubling and unacceptable. Let us strive for a Newport News that stands firmly against injustice, regardless of the background or ethnicity of those affected. I trust that together we can foster a community that values every life and works towards a more just and inclusive future. Hundreds of Newport News citizens have spoken, asking to pass a ceasefire resolution. Now it is your turn to reflect your citizens' voices. This is about honoring human rights and prioritizing peace for all peoples, not just Israel.
Thank you. Marlana Webster.
Good evening. I'm Dr. Marlena Webster, address 134 Vista Drive. And here I'm here to speak along with Dr. Norwood and Keisha regarding the Exhale Summit. So I've had the pleasure of being affiliated with the Exhale Summit for the last 2 years. And this year I also have the honor of being one of the speakers. And so I would really love to have the support of our city for this incredibly impactful experience. So it's beautiful to see women of color in particular being able to have an opportunity to sort of let their hair down and to just be. And to experience a space where they can be replenished rather than being the ones who are oftentimes pouring into other people. And so I think this would be an awesome opportunity for the city to partner with our organization to put some action behind the showing of support for mental health services, and also in line with our federal government's support of the expansion of mental health services, along with our governor's expansion of mental health services, with attempting to allow new providers to be able to provide services for the population of our citizens here in the state of Virginia, and of course, what's most pertinent for us would be for the city of Newport News. So thank you for your time, and thank you for your consideration, and we're excited to be able to have Newport News as the home of the Exhale Summit for this year.
Thank you so much. So our next item is new business. Before I turn it over to Mr. Manager, I just want to read just something. I know we've had a lot of comments, and we appreciate everyone coming out. So I want to read this from City Council that, we stand against any form of injustice. Our hearts and our prayers are always going to be extended to all lives impacted as a result of this conflict. And while this may be happening across the world, we know this conflict affects the lives of residents in our local community, and it is our hope and our always hope that there will be peace. At this time, I turn it over to the City Manager. Mr. Manager.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, members of City Council. I have a few prepared remarks that I would like to share with you and members of the listening audience this evening. Things are off to a fast pace as we move into 2024. We look forward to all that we will accomplish together this year, and once again, I would like to express my gratitude to City Council for entrusting me to partner with you to bring the vision for Newport News to fruition. As a reminder, the City of Newport News will be closed. All city offices will be closed on Monday, January the 15th, in observance of the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. In the spirit of Dr. King and his commitment to service, I challenge everyone to use this day as a day on and not a day off. Perhaps you will select a cause in the community, like the Martin Luther King Jr. Day of Service food drive on Monday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank, or attend one of the King holiday celebrations in the community. The celebration will be held on Wednesday, January the 18th at the Newsom House and Cultural Center from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Another exciting event happening in the city is our annual Restaurant Week, taking place January 14th through the 28th. 24 local restaurants are offering you the opportunity to try their fare at a reasonable price. For more information, please visit the city's tourism website. Lastly, I'd be remiss if I did not take this opportunity to again extend condolences on behalf of the city to Dr. Patricia Woodbury on the passing of her husband, Jared. Your city family is here to support you during this time and in the days ahead. Thank you.
Thank you. City Attorney. City Clerk. Dr. Woodbury.
Yes, thank you all. I can't speak but so much, but I do appreciate all the many kindnesses that have been shown to me since my husband's death. Thank you.
Councilman Neal.
I would like to wish My condolences to Dr. Woodbury on the passing of her husband. If you know Pat, when you see Pat, you see her husband. He was right by her side every minute, every way. Even when I was 13 years old, I was passing out literature, and it was for Pat Woodbury. At that time, she was running for school board. So I've known Pat for a very long time, and she's always been a staple in the community, and so is her husband. I would like to wish the staff a happy holidays. I hope everybody enjoyed their Christmas and their New Year's, and happy MLK Day. That's all, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Councilman Harris.
And I just want to echo the same thing as wish my condolences to you, Dr. Woodbury. As every time we had an event outside of chambers, he was always sitting at the table together. So I'll continue to pray for you, your family during this time, and you should know I know as a council collectively, if anything you know you need, we're going to be here for you. And real quickly, I just wanted to remind everyone, we're still collecting school supplies for the 7th annual Re-Up School Supply Drive. We have locations here at City Hall, which you could leave them in the box. We have a location at Demi Community Center as well. Pencils, paper, pens, coloring crayons, color markers, tissues is big, hand sanitizers big, dry erase markers, and cleaning wipes. If you have any of those and would like to donate it, please, you could drop them off in the box at the respective areas, or you can contact the number that we have on the site. And we will distribute these during the Winter Carnival, which is Saturday, February the 3rd, at the old Kmart site. So we look forward to being able to provide our students here in the city a fresh start for the second semester of the school year. And last thing real quick, I did want to acknowledge, I had an opportunity to meet with a young lady, a parent, mother, and she was just so excited about her daughter doing great things as she has overcome some of the challenges that she has faced. And I wanted to publicly acknowledge her. And this young lady's name is Destiny Hunter. She's a 7th grade honor roll student that attends Ella Fitzgerald Middle School. She loves to cheer, skate, she runs track, and she aspires to go into the beautician services, cosmetology, doing hair and nails. And just wanted to acknowledge her as we wanted to continue to encourage her to do well as she's making a name for herself in school and out of school, in the community. And just wanted to make sure Newport News knows about this outstanding young lady that's doing phenomenally at Ella Fitzgerald Middle School. And that is all I have for this evening, and I hope and pray everyone gets home safe this evening. Thank you.
Councilman Long.
I also want to offer my condolences to Dr. Woodbury. Thoughts and prayers with you and your family during this time. I want to echo what City Manager Alan Archer spoke of. Take advantage of MLK Day, use it as a day of service. There's a lot of opportunity out there to help people in the community in different areas. I really do appreciate the gentleman that came up at the beginning with the public comment about homeless and wanting to offer your volunteering services. It's always nice to hear when there are issues that we find in the city, people come forward, step forward and ask for, how can I help out? How can I volunteer to help the city? Because dealing with homelessness is an issue that we are working on here in the city to address. I also want to just wish everyone a Happy New Year's. Hopefully everyone's year started out well, and look forward to the rest of the year. People bring forth comments, opinions to City Council. Thank you.
Councilwoman Vick.
Oh, yes, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I also want to extend my condolences to you, Pat, of the passing of your husband, Woody. You know, over the last, since we've been serving, since 2008, we have enjoyed so many times, and Woody has always been a part of it, especially the dancing when we're out. So he would definitely be missed, and my heart goes out to you and your family. And I want to thank the women. It's so good to see you, Lakeisha, with your organization. Thank you for the email, and I think it is special. I am going to try to come to something, but that is the weekend of our One City Marathon weekend. So I got the email, but I have not responded because I'm trying to see if I can if I'll be able to stop by. But I just want to thank you all for doing that. because it is something that is needed in our community, particularly for women, as we are, out here as businesswomen, leading in so many different roles, and so many of the challenges that we have and face. So thank you all so much for doing that, and want to wish everybody a happy new year. And that's all I have, Mr. Mayor.
Vice Mayor.
Yes, I want to follow suit and also offer my condolences to Dr. Woodbury on the passing of her husband. Additionally, I have two shout-outs quick. One to the Sheriff's Department. They had their promotions yesterday, and we can never say thank you enough to everything that they do for our community. And then the last piece is shout-out to the fire, our fire folks. And for the academy, I believe that this was the largest class that we've had in a while. Wave your hand if I'm telling the story, and I'll. Oh well, no, wave your hand if I'm telling the truth. All right, there we go. Nevertheless, like I said, we can never thank our first responders enough for all that they do for our community. And so, being there, and when I was honored to be, to be asked to be there, but even if I wasn't asked, I was going to be there regardless. Because again, we always want to support you however we can. So just want to say thank you and congratulations to those amazing folks. And that's all that I have.
Thank you. I'll wrap up. So the first thing is the city manager stole a little bit of my thunder, but I will recapture it back right now. No, we're going to have our annual day of service, the food drive at the Virginia Peninsula Food Bank, January 15th, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. It's going to be Councilman Ely. We'll be there throwing some boxes along with the Congressman, Sheriff Gabe Morgan, Police Chief Drew, and myself. So please come out and let it be a day on and not a day off. The second thing is I know it's National Law Enforcement Day, which I thought is different than National First Responders Day, which includes everyone. So I want to be inclusive. So everyone that is included under that law enforcement umbrella, we just want to say thank you. And I'll just extend a bigger thank you to everyone that is in that first line of defense for our city, whether it's police or sheriff or fire or dispatchers, the entire family, just what you do for our community. We just want to say thank you on this day and on every day. And finally, everyone is giving condolences, but Pat, we argue a lot, but we love you. Everyone on this stage loves you, Pat, for who you are, and let us just walk in that community of service and giving back. And you're a role model to everyone here on this dais, and just know that we love you. And with that, we stand adjourned. Thank you.